What if I told you that every single conversation you had today was designed to control your mind? That person who convinced you to buy that coffee, your boss who got you to work late, even your friend who talked you into watching their favorite show, they all use dark psychology tricks on you. Right now, powerful people are using hidden mind tricks to make you do exactly what they want. Politicians, advertisers, salespeople, and even people in your own life are pulling invisible strings in your brain. But here's the thing. Once you know these secrets, you can spot them coming from a mile away. And more importantly, you'll understand why you make the decisions you think are your own. By the end of this video, you'll never look at human interaction the same way again. Let me start with a story that'll blow your mind. In 1978, a Harvard psychologist named Ellen Langer did an experiment that changed everything we know about how our brains work. She had people try to cut in line at a copy machine when they just asked, "Can I use the copy machine?" Only 60% of people said yes. But when they added the word because, even with a stupid reason like "because I need to make copies," 93% of people let them cut in line. Think about that. The reason made no sense at all, but the word "because" triggered something in people's brains that made them say yes automatically. This is your brain on autopilot, and it happens way more than you think. Every day, people are pressing these mental buttons in your head, and you don't even realize it's happening. The scary part? This was just one tiny trick from decades ago. The methods used today are so much more advanced and sneaky. See, most people think persuasion is about being charming or having good arguments, but dark psychology goes way deeper than that. It's about understanding the hidden weaknesses in how your brain works and exploiting them. It's like having a secret manual for human behavior that most people don't even know exists. The first big secret is something called social proof. Your brain is wired to think that if everyone else is doing something, it must be right. That's why you see 9 out of 10 doctors recommend on everything, or why restaurants put fake reviews online. But here's where it gets dark. People don't just use real social proof. They create fake social proof to trick you. Ever notice how some YouTube videos have comments that all sound the same? Or how certain products have thousands of 5-star reviews that were all posted on the same day? That's manufactured social proof. Someone sat down and said, "How can I make this person's brain think everyone loves this?" And it works, because your brain doesn't stop to check if the social proof is real. But social proof is just the beginning. There's something even more powerful called reciprocity. This one's really sneaky because it feels good when it happens to you. Here's how it works. When someone does something nice for you, your brain creates a mental debt. You feel like you owe them something back. And smart manipulators know exactly how to use this against you. Think about those free samples at the grocery store. They're not just being nice, they're creating a tiny debt in your brain. After you eat that free piece of cheese, you feel slightly guilty walking away without buying anything. Or those free trials that ask for your credit card. They're not really free, are they? They're psychological traps. But here's where it gets really dark. Some people use fake kindness to create these debts. They'll do small favors for you, remember your birthday, or help you with something you didn't even ask for help with. Then, when they want something big from you, they cash in all those mental debts at once. Your brain feels like you'd be a terrible person to say no. The third trick is called scarcity, and this one probably got you just this week. Your brain is hardwired to want things more when they're rare or running out. It's an old survival instinct. If food was scarce, you better grab it fast, or you might starve. But now people use this ancient fear to sell you stuff you don't even need. Only 3 left in stock. Sale ends in 24 hours. Limited time offer. These aren't just marketing messages, they're direct attacks on your brain's fear system. The crazy part is that most of these scarcity claims are completely fake. That limited time offer runs every single month. Those last 3 items magically restock themselves. But your brain doesn't know that, so it panics and tells you to buy now. Amazon is a master at this. Ever notice how they show you only 2 left in stock, order soon, even on items that obviously aren't rare? They're not lying exactly, but they're playing with your fear of missing out. And it works so well that they've made billions of dollars from this one psychological trick. Now let me tell you about the most dangerous trick of all. Something called commitment and consistency. Your brain has this weird need to be consistent with things you've already said or done. Once you say you believe something, your brain will literally change how you see reality to match what you said. This is how people get trapped in bad relationships, terrible jobs, and even cults. Here's how manipulators use this against you. They start by getting you to agree to something small and harmless. Maybe they ask if you care about your family's safety. Of course you say yes. Who wouldn't? Then they slowly build on that. If you care about your family's safety, wouldn't you want the best security system? If you want the best security system, wouldn't you want to act fast before something bad happens? Before you know it, you've agreed to buy a $5,000 security system because your brain is trying to stay consistent with that first innocent yes. The really scary part is that once you've made a choice, your brain starts finding reasons why it was the right choice, even if it wasn't. It's called cognitive dissonance, and it means that getting tricked actually makes you more likely to defend the person who tricked you. Your brain would rather change reality than admit you made a mistake. This is why people stay in abusive relationships, keep buying from scam artists, and defend politicians who obviously lied to them. It's not because they're stupid, it's because their brain is protecting them from the painful truth that they got fooled. But here's something that'll really mess with your head. Authority. Your brain is programmed to obey people who seem like they're in charge, even when they have no real authority over you. That's why doctors can sell you vitamins they know don't work, why people in suits can convince you to invest in fake companies, and why anyone with a fancy title can make you do things you normally wouldn't do. The Stanford prison experiment showed just how powerful this is. Regular college students were randomly assigned to be guards or prisoners in a fake prison. Within days, the guards were abusing the prisoners, and the prisoners were breaking down mentally. They all knew it was fake, but their brains couldn't tell the difference. Now imagine what happens when real authority figures want to manipulate you. They don't even need actual authority, they just need to seem like they have it. A white lab coat, an important sounding title, or even just confidence can trigger your brain's obedience response. The most dangerous part about all these tricks is that they work even when you know about them. That's right, I can tell you exactly how social proof works, and it'll still influence your decisions. I can explain why scarcity is usually fake, and you'll still feel that little panic when you see limited time offer. These aren't conscious thoughts. They're hardwired responses that bypass your logical brain entirely. But knowing about them does give you a fighting chance. When you feel that sudden urge to buy something because everyone else is doing it, you can pause and ask yourself, is this real social proof or manufactured? When someone does you a favor you didn't ask for, you can wonder if they're trying to create a debt. When you feel rushed to make a decision because time is running out, you can take a step back and think about whether the scarcity is real. The truth is, we're all being manipulated every single day. The websites you visit, the ads you see, the news you read, even the conversations you have, they're all designed to influence your behavior in ways you don't consciously notice. Your phone buzzes at exactly the right moment to break your concentration. The grocery store puts the most profitable items at eye level. The restaurant menu is designed to make certain dishes seem like better deals. But here's what the manipulators don't want you to know. These tricks only work when you're not paying attention. When you're tired, stressed, distracted, or emotional, your brain takes shortcuts and falls for these traps. But when you're alert and aware, you can catch them happening. The key is to slow down your decision-making process. When someone wants you to decide right now, that's usually a red flag. When someone offers you something that seems too good to be true, it probably is. When you feel strong emotions pushing you toward a choice, that's when you need to be most careful. Real persuasion, the good kind, gives you time to think, presents you with honest information, and respects your right to say no. Dark psychology does the opposite. It rushes you, hides information, and makes saying no feel impossible. So the next time someone tries to rush you into a decision, remember Ellen Langer's copy machine experiment. Remember that your brain is running on ancient software that can be hacked. Remember that the person who seems most trustworthy might be the one working hardest to manipulate you. Your mind is the most valuable thing you own. Don't let anyone else control it without your permission. If this opened your eyes to how your own mind works, you need to see what I discovered about the psychology of fear and how it's being used to control entire populations.